All right, when should you use a divided cell in three-electrode chemistry? Okay, and so what is a divided cell, first of all? This is the idea that your anode and your cathode are separated by some membrane. So traditionally, people think about this in just a two-electrode cell, electrolysis cell. So you have your anode, you have your cathode, and then you have some ion exchange membrane here. Okay. And the main idea here is that if you're generating products on one side and products on another side, you don't want them to combine back with one another, react back with one another, and react on the other electrode or react with each other, okay? And so this membrane that you have is permeable to ions, so you can still run the electrochemistry and have flow of charge through here. Of course, you have up here flow of electrons, right? You have some voltage. But it is not permeable to those products. So a lot of times it's difficult to find the correct membrane to use because maybe your products go through that membrane. It has to be selective in this way, okay? So a lot of literature about this type of stuff. But same thing applies for a three-electrode system, right? Where you have a working electrode and you have a reference and a counter. You'll have your reference, could be on either of these ports, either of these sides. This is your membrane in the center, and then you have your counter. And so let's say I just like to use the example of CO2 reduction. And I'm doing CO2 reduction to, let's say, formic acid. Okay. If I'm doing that on the working electrode, that's the reaction I'm studying. I'm bubbling CO2 into my solution here, and I form some formic acid. If I don't use a divided cell, what I worry about is that formic acid going to the counter electrode and being oxidized back to CO2 or some other product. And then when I go to detect how much formic acid I have, it's not really a true measure. I'm going to be losing some. Okay, and so that's the main reason why you want to use a divided cell. Now, there's another thing that you can do, which is you can use a very large area counter electrode instead of a membrane. And I'll talk about that in another video, what that does.